my property. You're not allowed to block my driveway.
I said
Don't be a prick.
I said I'll move.
You think I'm playing?
Yeah.
Your daughter better take record of how stupid her father is.
Yeah, all right.
Keep recording.
All right.
If it goes online,
that off.
your ass will be sued too.
Cut that. You ain't got it. That's
I ain't got nothing.
That's for my sake. I'm telling her to cut this off.
Nothing.
I'm telling her to cut this off.
You think I ain't got nothing?
Well, record. You record. You pulling a gun on a guy in the middle on the city property.
Listen.
Do whatever.
I am going to do whatever.
Too. I'm smart
This is
enough
my
not to pull it
property.
out.
I'll
Why
do what I want.
If I say
Do not block somebody's driveway. Get your dumb out of here.
yeah, you the dumb one.
Dumb shoot you dead.
That's what happened.
Like
Hey,
you.
I'm just smart. Both
Dumb
of us
like
Both
you.
of us got guns. I'm just smarter than you. You
Smarter? You think?
You think?
You think?
You
You
think?
think?
You see, but if I'd have pulled mine,
You think?
If I'd have pulled mine,
You think?
if I'd have pulled mine,
This is my property. I'd have shot you dead and you would have went to jail.
this is city property out here.
No, it's not, brother.
On the road. I work
You
for the
can't
city.
block.
Don't tell me.
You can't block somebody's driveway.
Am I blocking your driveway now?
Yes, you were.
Am I blocking it now?
Not now.
Okay, well, thank you then.
Then why are you
arguing?
still talking?
You ain't got nothing else to do.
Then why are you still
'Cause
talking?
you still talking.
Because you're a dumb.
You a dumb.
You're a dumb.
Man, I just told you.
Dumb.
You want to show your gun off? We all got it.
You ain't got.
You right. I'm just smart.
You ain't got. I'll blast your head off because you're a.
I can put my hands on your old ass. Get the out my way.
Can you go get some help?
I don't get the out my way.
Sit down.
It's old motherfuckers like you, and then y'all wonder why black people act up. Because you white bitches think y'all got it all. But you got the right motherfucking one, bitch. And try me. Yeah, smile all you want out of spit in your motherfucking face. You better back up. And what? That's a threat? Is that a threat? What? Listen, what you talking about listening to you? You walked and you told your wife to go find a seat and you took it upon yourself to turn around and get in my motherfucking face. Now if I can put my hand on your own ass, put on my face. Yeah. What? What?
That's all you need.
That's
Bobby.
goddamn what?
Bobby.
Get out of my face. Get the fuck out my face.
This man is assaulting her.
What's wrong with you?
He assaulted her. I'm recording.
What the fuck is wrong with you? What?
Yes.
What? What? No, get his ass back. No, get his back. I'm sick of these fucking crackers. I'm sick of you crackers. No, get him back. No, hell no. Get back. Move. No, no. Get him back. You gonna hit me? Move. Move. I'm sick of you crackers. You up.
Where are your ancestors from? They're not from this country.
You're going back to Mexico.
You better go back to where you're from.
You just walked into her. Excuse me?
Hey, God. Oh my God.
Yeah, but you deserved it, in my opinion. Yeah, you pushed her and she smacked you. That was self-defense on her part.
Oh, she grabbed me.
Nope.
Are you the manager? Yes. You need to leave. You need to leave. We're not serving you. We do not serve you.
Excuse me, but you did say that she needs to go back to her country. What is that?
Illegal Native Americans are
Excuse
from
me, this is what this whole world.
White people are not from this country. Don't serve her. Yeah, you do not serve her. Don't serve her racist.
You don't tell. No. Continue serving. Continue serving.
You need to leave. You're not a
No,
part
no,
of this.
no, no.
You need to leave. You're not a part of this.
You're
No.
racist.
No, you do not
You
come
just
in here
told-
and use the F word and swear and call me a B-I-T-C-H.
I've never even said
I
that
said she
word.
is, and
I
you're not
never
a part
even
of
said
it.
that word.
So
You're
you
making
get out
stuff
of
up
here.
now.
I know. I said
No.
she is, and that's why she's leaving. So
Okay.
you will leave too.
No. This is going all over the internet. You don't know who I am. You told her to go back to her country, where she's from.
That's assault.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Where were you born? Where were you born? I was born in America. Where are your ancestors from? They're not from this country. You're going back to Mexico. You better go back to where you're from.
You just walked into her. Excuse me?
Hey, God.
Oh,
Oh my
see?
God.
Yeah, you deserved it, in my opinion. Yeah, you pushed her and she smacked you. That was self-defense on her part.
Oh, she grabbed me.
Nope.
What did you just say?
What are you right now sitting out here doing?
I'm minding my own business. What are you doing?
I don't think you are minding your own business.
Okay, what do you think I'm doing?
I'm not really sure, but I'll figure it out.
Okay, you figure it out. I'm probably where I live.
Yeah, I live here too.
Okay, so I'm probably at my house where I live. Got it. You feel good? Did you do what you needed to do?
What the fuck are you doing right now?
I'm standing outside my house. You're standing outside of my house.
Why are you standing outside of your house doing what you're doing?
I don't think that's any of your concern, what I'm doing.
Well, you're doing something.
Why don't you go back to your house, and I'll be at my house.
You sound like an idiot.
You walked over from your house, standing in front of me at my house,
Yeah, I
trying
did.
to tell me I'm an idiot?
Absolutely, I did.
Okay, good job.
So what are you doing?
I think I'm doing none of your fucking business. Bye. It's called being black, folks.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakal Bardash. To honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the rising up of the nation of Israel, right? The nation of Israel being the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody whose father's lineage goes back to that bloodline. But before we get into this talk and break down the videos we saw, let's read this. This is Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Now, this is talking about the wicked. Now, the wicked is another name you could call the Edomite nation, the people of the nation of Edom. We know these people today by their modern names, right? That being the Caucasian race, white people, right? Americans, French, right? These are the Edomites of the Bible, right? The devils that the Bible speaks about. Now, that being said, when you get into this word here, the wicked, right? The hands of the wicked, when you go into it, it gets into the word laborers, right? The laborers, or namely the Israelites, right? So when the wicked Edomites, right? These Caucasians are in their sufficiency, or in the fullness of their sufficiency, right? When they have reached the pinnacle of their empire, which is what we're currently living in, right? Basically, ever since Esau went into space, it's been a slow trickle or downfall of his empire ever since then. And the Edomites that you've seen in the videos today, in the beginning of this clip, those are just some Edomites who have now had to face the reality that they're no longer as the brothers in the UK say, the hunk of the world, right? They're no longer the boss, right? Nobody's gonna ask them for permission anymore, right? And you see the nation of Edom, as you've seen that lady Karen, right, at the gas station, right? She was coming from a position as if she had to be told what was going on, right? They had to ask her permission for things that she was doing, right? Or basically she was, you know, you can see she even, here you go, let's see if I can stop it. There it goes. So you see these Edomites are coming from a position of authority, right? See, they, believe it or not, the Caucasian race has a feeling of superiority over the nations, over the world, right? Because we are the nations that they conquered, right? And though now, you know, they like to tout, you know, equality and we're all the same, the simple fact is that they do not believe that, right? They actually believe that they are the vanguards of society, right? They are the rulers. They're not, but they don't consider themselves as so much the rulers, but the ones who are in charge of society, right? They're the ones who lead the humanity, right? And this is why you're seeing so much confrontation, like in these videos right here. You had that creepy video where you had this Edomite, right? Basically,
what I'm doing,
just chilling, you know, probably seeing this Judite, because obviously he was a so-called black man, standing outside of his house, and it looks like in a somewhat upscale, nicer neighborhood, right? So he was chilling outside his house, and this Edomite, this elderly white lady, right? Doesn't matter how big her belt buckle is, or how tight her pants are, or you know how hip she tries to dress. This is an elderly Edomite Caucasian lady, man, that who walked up to a so-called black man at night. Do you not realize how much pride and confidence you have to have that you're in charge to do that? See, these Edomites, they haven't gotten the memo yet that they're on their way out, and the nation of Israel, the Negro Latino Native Americans, are on our way in, right? As it tells you in 2nd Ezra, that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? We are going to be the rulers of the coming world order, right? The true world order, right? He's just trying to bring forward his new world order, but that ain't going to work because it's going to be overshadowed by the true world order, that being the world empire of the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose true Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai, which is Hebrew for he is salvation, right? See, he's going to ultimately come and rule over. And when that happens, you know, what we're seeing now, where the Israelites, us Negro Latino Native Americans, starting to separate ourselves off from these Edomites, and basically no longer, you know, seek their approval or permission to do things, right? This is actually prophecy written about here in Jeremiah 15:33. Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Ashai of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah, right? The children of Israel would be the northern kingdom, the Latinos and Native Americans. The children of Judah would be basically the southern kingdom, namely the so-called Negro, right? Particularly these together make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We're oppressed together, right? See, we were oppressed together in this vision that Jeremiah had, right? He's seen a future oppression of the nation, that being the Negro, Latinos, Native Americans in the land of America, which the Bible refers to as Babylon the Great, right? And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go, right? And what happened? What's going on with us, right? With us Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, right? A lot of people like to pretend that they're free. A lot of our people, that have a little something, have a nice little car, nice little property, nice little job, a little, bundle of money. They like to go out and claim that they're free, that they won. They're no longer being oppressed. But when you really get into the minutia of society, right? What does the apostle say? The machinations of the system. You understand that we are in a low level mental slavery, right? We're in captivity, right? And it has to do with the ICC, you know, or what is it? The ICC codes with basically your, you know, the legalese terminology, how we're basically all corporate, you know, operating under commercial corporations, which are named after us, right? Or which is done at our birth. See, all these things are traps which are not meant to be seen. They're traps for your mind. They're traps to make you captives, right? And that's what you are, right? If you were born in America, you are captive in America, right? You're not in the land of the free or the home of the brave, right? Don't let that propaganda fool you, man. See, if you try to escape out of America, you won't be able to go anywhere without a U.S. passport, right? A port pass, right? You can't leave and no longer be an American citizen that easily, man. You have to apply to another farm to get their passport and to be allowed to come into their land. And if you are in that land, you do get, you know, accepted. You're now a prisoner, a person, a corporation within that land, right? You're held fast, and these systems, which are all controlled by Edomites, right? All these countries, right? They refuse to let you know, the Israelites go, right? And how do they do that? Well, by not telling us who we really are historically. When they know that we're the Israelites, there's been presidents who have claimed that the Native Americans and Latinos that we are the Israelites, right? They, you know, there's claims that they know about it. There's it's, you know, mentioned in popular media, even though it's done as a joke. Historic records and books and archaeological evidence prove that the Negro, Latino, Native Americans, that we are the Israelites. But again, what happens? It's buried. It's buried under the mainstream media narrative, and that is how they refuse to let us go, right? That's also another term that says that their body shall lie in the great city for 3 days, and they that see them will refuse to bury them, right? Meaning that these devils, these other heathen nations that are around us, the Caucasians, the Japanese, the Chinese, and all these other heathen nations, which the Bible say are our enemies, you know, they know who we are, right? There's plenty of, you know, videos of Ishmael and all these Elamites saying that they know that we're Israelites, right? Gas station attendants that, you know, that they know this from their country, right? But they don't let us know. Instead of trying to assist us out of our captivity, they're partaking in the fruits thereof, right? Basically using us for our labor, using us for our money, right? For patronage, all that type of stuff, man. This is Isaiah 10 and 20. And it shall come to pass that in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped out of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yahweh Bashem Shai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Now this here, namely, is talking about what the 1/3 of the Israelites, right? The 1 out of every 3 Negro, Latino, Native Americans that wake up to the true narrative of what's going on in the world and come back and return to serve their Heavenly Father, right? To serve our power, our spiritual power, and receive that blessing of, you know, salvation, immortality, future rulership, right? Eventually, we are going to rise up and no longer, you know, rely on Esau, man. You can see it. Here goes. You can see that now, you know, it doesn't matter what Esau tries to claim when it comes to this doctrine, right? We don't need Esau to validate, you know, a concept in the Bible, what something means, man, right? They basically destroy it, right? And I've seen there was a Twitter post the other day talking about, it was a Judite Eve, right? She says, considering that our own history, referring to the so-called Negroes, was taught to us by white people, we should throw that whole thing out. She didn't say thing, but you see, the general population of the Israelites, right, both the 2/3 and the elect 1/3, is starting to rise up. We're starting to get our spirits turned up. And what is causing that? Well, the Spirit of the Lord is causing that, right? The Lord is making us stand up as an exceedingly great army. Now, some of us are going to stand up, right? Because again, as it tells you in Ezekiel 37, that we were this valley of dry bones, right? Some of us are going to stand up, right? When these bones start to come together, right? The nation of Israel, some of these bones are going to have, missing muscles, missing skin, missing hair, missing, voice, missing breath, right? Oh, and that's all these like, empowerment groups like Black Lives Matter, Antifa, the One Percenters, the Back to Africa movement, the indigenous, cultural roots movement, the Indian One Nation movement. See, all these movements of us trying to raise ourselves up, they're all basically dead spiritual bodies, man. See, because there's no actual spiritual life in them. That being the Holy Spirit, which the Lord puts into us, right? That's why the liveliest group and the true group of our people who are waking up are the Hebrew Israelites, right? Us Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and anybody whose father's lineage who goes back to that bloodline, who have woken up, realized who we are, right? We're the Hebrew Israelites, and are coming back to do the original works of what we used to do when we were in the right with the Lord, right? So in doing so, we are no longer staying upon this system, right? Depending on the Edomites, the Elamites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, and so forth, man. These other heathen nations are back to their proper position in our mindset, man. They are our enemies. Yeah, we're gonna work with them. Yeah, we're gonna suffer them, right? And we're gonna have to endure this captivity, until the Lord comes back, right? But now, because we understand who we are and who our enemies are, right? We are gonna basically now act accordingly, as it tells you. We shall no more stay upon him that smote them, right? And you're seeing this broad movement going across all our people to go against Esau, right? To basically no longer seek his approval, which is why you see that Judite lady freaking beat the crap out of that elderly Edomite man, right? Or you had that Gadite lady who slapped the shit out of Esau, man. This is Ezekiel 39:23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hands of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. And let's continue. Verse 24. According to their uncleanliness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Right? So see, this right here is explaining that not only why the Lord did this, but that when he accomplishes our punishment, right, the destroying of the Negro, Latino, Native Americans, that the heathen will understand who we are, understand why we got put in this low place, but that now the Lord has returned onto us, man, and they can't mess with us. Verse 25. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Shemashai power, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, right? Which is what's going on right now. The Lord is ending our captivity. The Lord is bringing back the blessings for those who have turned back for him, and he's also bringing judgment for the 2/3 of our people, the people who just ain't gonna get right, right? And have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for mine holy name. After that they have borne their shame and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. Right? So you see, ultimately, once the Lord's done, or as he's moving along these prophecies, man, he's gonna start rousing up the spirit of us Israelites more and more, right? To the point where, as it tells you, man, that in Job 20:22, that the hands of the laborers are going to fall upon these devils, man. And they're no longer going to be able to tell us or our power, what are we doing, right? This is Job 9 and 12. Behold, he taketh away, who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what doest thou? And that's ultimately where it's going to go, right? Pretty soon, these current rulers of the world, right, the Edomite nation, the Caucasian race that runs everything, they're going to be put out of power, and they no longer are going to be able to ask anybody, what are they doing, right? Nobody's going to have to go to them for permission. They're going to have to come to the Messiah and us Israelites who are going to be ruling this future world, right? And that's a future prophecy that the Bible breaks down. So hopefully this video was edifying, Akim. Until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakal Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles, and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.